So looking at two separate written descriptions from Charles Hazzard. Remember, pause to read, as is noted prior to getting to this point of the video, to pause to read the descriptions. Well, we're going to use two descriptions because the patient's in prone. So he's talking about working on essentially the erector mass, or the spinal musculature. It says on the side closest to you, you're going to use the pads of your fingers, and you're going to work at 90 degrees to the muscle fiber direction. This is why I will talk about in osteopathy, generally when you're going to work on soft tissues, you're classically going to see people working perpendicular to known fiber direction, so usually muscular fiber direction, not other fibers. But this is one of the sources that you would identify that. There is something in E.D. Barber's work as well about working perpendicular to fiber direction, and that's essentially what's being said here. So as far as that's concerned, using the pads of your fingers, you grab the erector mass on your side, right, on your side of the spinous processes. So you identify spinous processes, you come to your side, and it just looks like pulling toward you to thoroughly relax that musculature, right? So you're going to go up and down. So it would just be holding, waiting, whatever it happens to be. You walk up, you work on your side. On the opposite side, it says use the heel of your hand, so you identify spinous processes, go on the other side, and push it away, right? So on your side, it's not specifically said, but you're essentially pulling towards while using the pads of your fingers. On the opposite side, you're using the heel of your hand. What I would say is, based on angle and the ability to pay attention and get good engagement with the muscle, I would actually use the heel of your hand on both sides. But what I would say is, you always work on the opposite side. So instead of working on this side with the pads of my fingers, when I wanted to work on this side, I'd go to the other side of the table. Just use the heel of the hand, push on the muscles. So find the spinous processes, go opposite that, or go to the far side, and then stay on the muscle, and you can perform that. So that's the vertebral musculature as noted by Hazzard. And once again, we have another description of using double leg leverage to create extension to break up the lumbar and lower dorsal region. So what he's talking about is grabbing under the thighs above both knees, and then pushing through the vertebrae, and then using some side to side motion. So once again, I do lots of hard work, and it looks like this. Right, I have to be careful that I don't go too high because it's pretty heavy leverage, but that's essentially what it looks like. So we have another mention of that method. That method seems to be one that early practitioners seem to favor for whatever set of reasons. Really what you're doing, if you're considering relational motion, is you're doing extension from the bottom up. You can do extension from the top down. In seated, you can do some forms of extension in lateral, depending on the situation. But what I would say is that if extension is your aim, there's other ways to do it other than lifting the patient's legs and doing a lot of work on behalf of the practitioner.